What's cracking, people? Angelic Mayhem here, and welcome to Krautscape. This is a game that is we're going to call it a third-person racing game with a twist. The twist is that the track only exists after you build it, which means that as you are racing, the track literally constructs in front of you. So how about that? Very interesting game. It is a multiplayer game, okay? So there is no single-player component. You must play it online with other people. There is I guess I shouldn't say there isn't a single player. There's a practice area, okay? So you can actually go in to get used to the game before you go online and start playing with others, okay? Which is definitely highly recommended. Don't think of it as a tutorial. Think of it as a really cool place to learn the three primary mechanics of the game, okay? So, since I have already done that, let me escape out of that. The options menu and all that aren't that impressive. Actually, you know what? I'm going to go in here to free build. Alright, so you get a little car and your first piece of initial track. No limits, no pressure. And so here we go. The lights are already green, but if you were actually racing other people, they would be lined up next to you, and then it would go red, 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 green. The keys in question are the arrow keys on the right to move your craft. Forward moves you. Back does a brake. It also allows you to drift. And then obviously right and left are the usual. Now, the only other key that you need to know about is the space bar, which allows you to actually extend your wings and take flight. Basically, it says in the game that you are flying. Technically, that is incorrect. You are gliding is what is happening, okay? So, I kind of disagree with their choice of words there, but whatever. Alright, so just to show you what that looks like, I'm going to drive through that boulder. Alright, I'm going to spread my wings and fly. Now, while you are flying, you cannot operate the, let's say the up, okay, to give yourself more height or altitude, and turn left and right at the same time, okay? So you have to do one or the other. Although, because, again, you're gliding, you only have so much momentum, as it were. So you will begin to drift, and then eventually, obviously, I can't go back up there because I'm completely out of gas. So I'm just going to have to let myself go and die. This game is extremely fast-paced, and it's very interesting. The strategy of the game goes like this. If you are racing against other people, what you want to do is you want to try to stay on the straightaways as much as possible, because it's very difficult for them to actually catch up to you. However, if they do manage to catch up to you, or you run into something and you have to kind of start from scratch, that's the time when you want to get kind of twisty-turny, because the chicanes will slow them down. The handling on these cars is very dirty, let's say. Alright, now this is a good opportunity. I'm going to get up some speed and take flight again so that you can see turning. Try and give you a good view of the track. Now you can see where parts of the track kind of come together. So if you do end up falling to your death and it replaces you on the track, it is possible just to take flight and hop from one area to the other, cutting out huge sections of track. So that kind of gives you an idea of how you can catch up to the leaders if they start to, really kind of get ahead of you. There's also an arrow in the bottom right-hand corner, which gives you an idea of where the front of the track is, so that if you start to run into trouble, you can find where you're supposed to go. Now, while I'm thinking of it, this game currently is not frame locked, so it runs as high as 300 frames a second and as low as about 120 on my computer. I will tell you, at the moment I have fraps on, so it's hard locked at 30, but this is a lot faster paced, and it's a lot more responsive when it comes to like hanging a right or a left. You spin out a lot more and things like that. It's very easy for me to control right now because I'm recording, but in a regular game session I'd kind of be all over the place at the moment. The friction on the tires is practically non-existent. I mean, really, it's not as bad as driving, let's say, like on ice or something like that, but it's pretty slick, This game is, in fact, in an early beta, okay? So you're going to find a lot of situations where, for instance, if you plow into a wall hard enough, you will jam into the crevice where the wall meets the pavement, and literally get stuck there. The backspace key, by the way, is the one that you want to use to reset your car, which is very convenient. That is a windmill. It forces you off to the side. Now, let's talk about the track. The track actually builds based upon where you are when you meet these gates. So, for instance, you could see, let me slow down all the way here. Well, that was a shame. I actually rolled through the gate. So there's yellow, right? If you are in the yellow when you pass through the gate, it will go straight. And you can see the track in front that hasn't been built, but it actually shows you like the outline of the track, as it were. Actually shows that it will go straight. All right. Now, if I flip over here to blue, you'll see that it will curve to the left. And if I go into the red, it will really curve to the left, and that's a super tight curve that you then have to drift into. So again, there is a lot of strategy involved too. I'm gonna go over here now, and I think I missed the gate. Oh no, the gate's all the way over there. I'm not gonna make that. So there is a lot of strategy when it comes to how you lay the track. I'm still not gonna have the. I'm not gonna have the distance for this. Get there. Go. Yes. Oh, nice. There is a lot of strategy in terms of how you lay the track if you're the leader, and then if you are the follower, you're basically just trying to catch up by cutting sections of the track by taking flight. I really wish that this craft could, do some more hairpin turning. I also think that this game would be really sweet if you had some sort of miniature rocket that wouldn't allow you to really propel yourself super forward, but it would allow you to gain enough height when you're about to fall to your death that you could then recover. You know what I mean? Maybe it was just a boost that you could use at the beginning of the game, or it had a certain amount of fuel or something like that. So I'm just kind of throwing that out there, and hopefully, maybe they'll consider that. Whoa! No idea where I'm going. Trying to turn. You see how slow it is to actually turn? Like, I'm in a full... that's actually very unrealistic. I'm at a full left, and I'm, like, just gliding into it. Physically speaking, if I were turned like this, I would be plummeting towards the earth, but I would be able to turn on a dime, alright, so... But anyway, that's a look at Krautscape. The game actually doesn't have too many people at the moment. Again, it's an early beta, but it just hit Steam on the Early Access program. You can get it for, I think it's like $8 or $9, something like that. I definitely see potential in this. Again, being an early beta, it has some bugs and things like that. They're kind of tricky. Every now and then, if you hit the wall, the guardrail, as it were, in just the right way, your wheels will jam, and you're kind of like stuck there. So again, backspace is going to be your friend in this game. But anyway, thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please share it with your friends, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and smash that like button, and I'll see you next time.